Ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump just now on Truth Social wrote, hopefully today will turn out to be one of the most important days in the history of our country. I think it will. I believe that former President Trump will announce today or this evening at Mar-a-Lago, and that would be fantastic for a number of reasons. I'm not voting for DeSantis. Even if he's the nominee, I'm not voting for anyone other than Trump. It's Trump or nothing. And there's a great many people like me, and I'll explain why. Hit subscribe to this channel, ladies and gentlemen. I was a lifelong Democrat. I used to be, not long ago, in 2016, the biggest Bernie Sanders booster on the internet, according to the Huffington Post, and the unofficial scribe of Sanders' most hardcore voters, according to the Washington Post. You could read my writing in The Hill, the Huffington Post, Salon, the Jerusalem Post, the Federalist, I love the Federalist, and other publications on hagoodman.com. I saw firsthand Bernie Sanders getting cheated by the Democratic Party and, like the person he is, not even addressing it. Okay? That's just politics for Bernie Sanders. $200 million wasted, all went to Hillary. And I said Clinton would lose. She lost. I was one of the few people on the left to say that she would lose. She lost. Then they blamed Russia. Then they accused Trump of things he never did. Then they had a special counsel where they found nothing because they made up everything. Not one person altered their decision from Hillary to Trump because of a Facebook ad or a Twitter bot. Not one human being. They were jumping for joy. There was even a Pied Piper strategy. And Politico even said they got, like a day before, the day of, in November of 2016, they got the man they always wanted. I forgot the exact title of the article, but they were bragging that they had always wanted Trump, and the campaign emails show that. Okay, that was their strategy. Their actual strategy, the Democrats' strategy, was to elevate Trump, and then they lost, then they blamed the Kremlin. That's the Democratic Party. Okay, they're the true demagogues. They're the ones who blame other people for their failures. And what they did with Trump was criminal. I mean, it was the epitome of the most apoplectic and hysterical media coverage you've ever seen in your life. I mean, I'm trying to say it was the epitome of propaganda and sensationalized coverage. Everything he said on the campaign trail, the hot mic, they made that out to be a deposition. It wasn't. Biden was actually accused of what Trump was joking around about in the hot mic, but they don't even acknowledge it. When hit subscribe to this channel, ladies and gentlemen, we're over 201,000 subs. But the reason, ladies and gentlemen, I'm voting only for Trump is that we had record low unemployment. We had in 2019, before Democrats gleefully tanked their state economies, Cuomo, Whitmer, every blue state governor, primarily to get Trump out of office. You could say, well, it was to help people. It's like, well, you know what? You didn't have to destroy businesses and then cause the inflation that we see now, along with mashed potato brains Joe ignoring inflation and going to battle with the oil and gas industry, then flooding 200 million barrels of strategic petroleum reserves, and still pontificating about climate. But here's the thing. I'm an anti-interventionist. I don't want never-ending military conflict, counterinsurgency conflicts. I don't want to get involved in endless military quagmires. Donald Trump, in terms of foreign policy, has always been the better choice. And that's a fact. Even Democrats acknowledge this, that he's less militant. Even Democrats acknowledge that the economy was better under Trump. We had record low in poverty in 2019. They don't care. Do you understand? Democrats don't care because they despised Trump the moment he decided to run, not because of the words, not because of the crude way he spoke about. He wasn't referring to all, people who wanted to come to the country. He speaks in a crude manner, and then Democrats take that and sensationalize everything, and then lie, or media takes that, sensationalize and obsesses over everything, and then ignores the fact that the greatest atrocities are taking place during Democrats, the administration of a Democratic president. 50 people lost their lives in a truck. 6 months, 7 months back, not one word from AOC. This didn't happen under Trump's presidency. And so you had, was he perfect? No. But, and then, I was against certain things during Trump's presidency, but generally, peace between North and South Korea, at least he wanted détente. He was the first president to step foot in North Korea, the first president to step foot in North Korea, to try to begin détente between North and South Korea. Abraham Accords, huge development in the Middle East. Signed the Doha Agreement, negotiated it. It called for a May 1st, 2021 withdrawal. See, the same imbeciles on the left who think that that it was Biden who brought home Americans, see, they don't realize that it was a May 1st, 2021 withdrawal that Biden completely ignored. And he did so because he didn't want to bring home Americans. Because the Lincoln Project and Mashed Potato Brains Joe and Hillary and Kerry, they all voted alongside Bush, Cheney, and Rumsfeld. In terms of foreign policy, they all voted alongside the neoconservatives. Well, how is it so difficult to understand never-Trumpers? I love the New York Post. I love the Washington Examiner. Do you not understand? I don't understand how, the people at these publications don't get that there are voters like myself who will always vote for Trump because of his foreign policy. And I will never vote for a never-Trump Republican because their foreign policy is the Lincoln Project foreign policy, same as the Democratic Party. Democrats, the Lincoln Project is embedded within the Democratic Party. That's why when you hear Democrats use the word patriots and then, treasonous, it's hilarious. That's not even within the lexicon of how liberals used to speak. It's kind of hilarious, but anyway. A great many people on the left don't even they get offended by the United States flag. So it's are you kidding me? But you look at what Donald Trump did, allocating more funding to historically black colleges and universities than any president ever, making the funding permanent. No Democrat did that. Signing an executive order combating anti-Semitism on college campuses. Okay? And now that's in the news. You know what? It was Trump who addressed the issue on college campuses, which is rampant from the left. Then you had President Trump. We had, again, record low poverty, according to CNN and according to all the data. Record low poverty in 2019. Record highs in household median income without $10 trillion pumped into the economy by Democrats and the Fed. It is a fact. So if a morally superior, highly educated liberal Democrat or a good, sensible never-Trumper, a good, sensible Republican, Mittens Romney, and Liz Cheney is sensible, who would send Americans off. We just had Veterans. They send Americans off in 2 seconds, Liz Cheney and Madam Secretary and President Obama did. And he, just ask the people of Libya if they like President Obama's foreign policy. Failed intervention with the alliance the Democrats worship in Europe. Why are all these bad things happening under Mashed Potato Joe's administration? Why are all these bad things taking place? Why was there an invasion under the Democratic Party within the House of Representatives, the Senate, and the presidency? Why? Why not Trump? I thought he was a puppet of the Kremlin. And then you have a complete lie and hoax. I mean, these people talk about conspiratorial theories. They're the ones who perpetuate or foment these things. They believe this. I mean, you have to be a complete imbecile. You have to be a fool to believe that Trump worked with another country to defeat Clinton. He didn't even have to do that. Comey, a week before November in 2016, wrote the Comey letter. He's the one who sunk Clinton's campaign. She probably would have won, but I was saying something was going to happen like that. And Comey said, hey, I have the goods on you. Then he turned on Trump. But Democrats have leveled investigations against their direct political rivals. Giuliani, Trump's inaugural chief, forget a campaign chairman, nothing. No indictment against Trump. They can't get anything on Trump after like 50 investigations. It takes 2 months, maybe, not even 2 months, to find out about Hunter and Joe and all the money they took in from other countries and foreign and intelligence operations by other countries through businesses that worked with Hunter's businesses, according to the New York Post and Daily Mail and the Federalist. It's all public record. There's nothing conspiratorial about it. It's just Democrats view everything against them as this like, oh, absurd. Because they don't realize, they're highly educated, but they're not educated enough. They're ignorant to the corruption within their own political party. That's why when they disown friends and family, they do so from the vantage point of, oh, we're the best. Oh, I can't be friends with somebody who's against human rights. But you're the one presiding over the Lincoln Project controlling your foreign policy. You're the ones who didn't want to negotiate peace before that country was invaded. Trump would have. And that would mean working with the Putin. Well, but President Obama and Hillary had a Russian reset. But you didn't care then. See, the Democrats who opposed Bush in 20 years ago, they only opposed him because he had an R next to his name. Those same people, George W. Bush, the worst president of all time, by far. I'd say by far the worst president. Biden is getting close. But he has now a favorable, he has a positive favorability rating among Democrats. So, I mean, you're talking about, ladies and gentlemen, you're talking about a bizarro world where the left in the United States of America has the Bush, Cheney, and Rumsfeld people deciding on foreign policy and civility or decorum. Okay, the Lincoln Project are the good, sensible Republicans. They were against marriage equality. They wanted a marriage amendment. I mean, if you look at what they were about, they should have been canceled a long time ago. But the left doesn't cancel anyone they find political utility with. So it's about power. When Democrats or your friends and family who disown you pontificate and preach and judge and condemn, they don't care about those issues. Because most of those issues are worse under Biden than Trump. And you can actually refute everything they say and they'll just get enraged. That's why they don't. When you have people who have disowned friends and family because they're voting for Trump, there are two factors there. One is they're just, they don't want their other friends to know they're friends with a Trump supporter. But two is they can't really refute anything. Trump worked with the Kremlin. No, he didn't. Where's the evidence? Oh, the intelligence agency said. Read the DHS and ODNI report. They're highly to moderately confident. They don't have anything. And the Mueller probe found nothing. Well, it found contacts. Well, then why didn't you indict Trump? And then they get enraged. Oh, well, his tax returns. Why didn't you indict him? You didn't. Okay, with Hillary, watch the short on this channel. Watch my latest short, Thank God for Trump, with Hillary. Watch the first short. It's 26,000 views on this channel. We're over 200,000 subs because of you, and I appreciate that very much. The first short is James Comey stating, she broke the law, but no reasonable prosecutor would indict. It's his words, not mine. Although there are potential violations of the legal statutes pertaining to the handling of classified data, no reasonable prosecutor would indict. And they probably won't indict Trump. I mean, I don't know. If they do indict Trump, it's going after the direct political rival. But again, Democrats don't care. They don't have anything on Trump. And if they do, it's because mashed potato brains is going to get impeached. Do you understand? The impeachment is coming. And it's because of actual graft and bribery schemes, not because of an ellipsis. These people are such narcissists, they impeached Trump for having the audacity to want to investigate Biden, who is corrupt as any politician you could ever imagine. And then you have FTX debacle, and that's a whole, Pandora's box of criminality and corruption. And I mean, it's probably not the only crypto exchange that's funding Democrats. And there's $72 million they got this midterms from. And then you wonder, you look really quickly, and it's 100% Mitch McConnell's fault. I love the New York Post, but they're wrong. Mark Kelly raised $79 million, spent $73 million. Blake Masters spent $9 million. Okay? If I'm reading this right, in 2022, he got outspent like 60 plus million dollars. Okay? $64 million. If I'm reading this right, it's unbelievable. But even if I'm not reading it, he was outspent by a great number. I'm just looking at Open Secrets now. So, Blake Masters could have used some more money. Okay, and then the New York Post, I love the New York Post. Oh, why didn't Trump give money? Well, I'm sorry, the whole entire American political establishment is against him. Maybe he needs money for attorneys. He's a billionaire, but he's not stupid. He still knows that there are never Trumpers, and his endorsement means a great deal. The thing is, like, when Republicans say, the party is worthless. The Republican Party is worthless. The difference between the Republican Party and the Democratic Party is a machine. The Republican Party got completely obliterated in 2008, 2012, and all of the people they love, Paul Ryan, Liz Cheney, Adam Kinzinger, they're gone. They're not in politics anymore. Liz Cheney is only relevant because Democrats, are using her. They don't even like her. Liz Cheney could write a book. Nobody would read it. Liz Cheney could go to a library in New York. 10 people would show up. Okay, people love Trump. Now, if you want to put DeSantis against Trump, he'd steamroll DeSantis. Go ahead and have a primary. And have the Republicans try to go up against Trump or any never Trump Republican. Have Chris Christie. It would be hilarious. People would just fall in love with Trump even more. And the media lies all the time. Trump never said both sides. He never said, both sides are good people. He wasn't referring to the horrible 1930s and 1940s Germans or, the people who were pretending to be. He wasn't referring, people know that. But it's a lie. He didn't clear Lafayette Square for a photo op. Another lie. Donald Trump Jr. never got advanced, information on emails. That's another lie. Trump never worked for the Kremlin. A lie. He never had any problem with the tax returns. Another lie. The civil case. There's a civil case in New York. They're all Democrats. When will New York ever go after a Democratic? Well, we'll see what happens to Sam Bankman-Fried. We'll see. And it'll be probably investigations by Republicans in the House that find out. We'll have endless investigations, people. But this time you actually have criminality. With Trump, it was, we're investigating. They found nothing. Giuliani, nothing. Carter Page, nothing. Trump, nothing. And then they say, Mueller probe got people. Mueller probe got people on allegedly lying to bureau agents who are loyalists of the Democratic Party. It's within their own emails. It's like when you introduce this information to Democrats, they then say it's conspiratorial. They don't know. You have to understand, they don't know. They have no clue of any of this stuff. They don't know what the Steele dossier is, that it was purchased by Clinton. They don't know. They have no clue at all. So he was a great president. Your life was probably better in terms of the economy in 2019. It's going to get worse, ladies and gentlemen. FTX is only the first. You're talking about also hedge funds that'll collapse also, not just crypto. And you pump so much free money into the system. And you have so much moral hazard in terms of investing. You think that there was only one Bernie Madoff? You think there's only one Sam Bankman-Fried? Especially nowadays, there's probably a lot more people who are heading risky hedge funds and exchanges. Okay, look, you can look at Coinbase, and others will probably be next. Binance, they'll all probably go under, and then that'll cause traditional hedge funds to go under, and then banks, and then it'll be a too big to fail moment, and it'll be under Democrats. Losing the Senate was actually politically long-term a better thing for Republicans or Trump Republicans. Just because, unfortunately, our economy is going to continue to collapse. And you can't blame people like Jim Jordan or Trump. So, real wages are down 8.5%. Objectively, the economy stinks. We had a recession. We're going to have another recession in 23. And then you'll impeach Biden. The whole world will know about Biden's corruption. Even the never-Trumpers will bring up Biden's corruption. So the problem with the Republican Party is that there was a Republican president who gave Republicans 3 Supreme Court justices, hundreds of federal justices, a great economy, a great foreign policy in terms of achievements. But you know what? He didn't worship the system, the sacred cows that never Trump Republicans worship, the alliance and intelligence agencies. Trump told them all to take a hike, or you know what? I don't really care what you think. I'm going to do what's right for the country. Trump puts the United States first. Not the intelligence agencies, not the alliance in Europe, not sensibilities of morally superior liberals. He puts the country first. He puts you first. He puts me first. He puts everybody first. And if you say, well, that's nonsense, oh, ridiculous, oh, horrible, you're drinking the Kool-Aid. Like, well, how's your life now in terms of the economy? Was it better in 2019? 70% of Americans think the country is in the wrong direction. Okay? Most people thought the country was in the right direction in 2019. It's just they had the Mueller probe. If Democrats don't have, you have to understand, without Pelosi's a very good, Schumer, Pelosi, they're very good. The Democratic machine is very powerful. They're good at what they do. Republicans are terrible because they didn't rally behind a Republican president who was doing good things. Richard Burr, Paul Ryan, Jeff Sessions. I mean, he didn't even have an attorney general. You tell me the next time a Democrat is investigated by his own Department of Justice. You tell me when that happens. And then you tell me, Trump, it's Trump's fault. Republicans investigated Trump, my God almighty. I mean, how much of a complete buffoon and fool and imbecile do you have to be to investigate your own president if you're in a political party and then expect to win Georgia and Arizona? When you know that his movement is growing among all demographics, Trump did better among non-white voters than 2 years ago. I mean, this is like explaining physics to a house cat. It doesn't register with never-Trumpers or Democrats because they don't. Liz Cheney voted 92% of the time with Trump. She doesn't care about inflation or terrible economy. She wants to send Americans to Europe. If Biden said send Americans to Europe right now, it would be Liz Cheney and Schumer and every Democrat who opposed Bush. Democrats don't run by value system. They run by groupthink. So they don't have value system. 200 million barrels of strategic petroleum reserve, and then mashed potato brains Joe is begging OPEC for oil. So, and then they pontificate about the climate, the hypocrites. Anyway, give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe right now. It's Trump or nothing for me. So, Trump is going to be the nominee, obviously. But in an alternate reality where Trump wasn't, I'd be like, I would just watch what happens, and I'd probably laugh. I'd probably laugh rather than cry because we'd have a terrible economy going forward if a Democrat won in 24, just like we have now. But eventually, Republicans in Arizona and elsewhere will realize that, you know what, maybe we have to rally around Trump eventually. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe to this channel right now. Huge day. I can't wait. I hope he goes through with it because it'll be amazing. Thank you. Oh, by the way, I should have a live stream. This evening when he does finally announce. Thank you so much, everybody.